Jet return for grind 23 on the world of Deneb. I'm thinking the server might be having a bad afternoon. Everybody seems to have disappeared, and when I tried to log in, the ping was pretty bad. So we'll see how this goes. But I don't plan on doing anything terribly difficult anyways. I wasn't sure. I had an idea earlier of what I wanted to do, but in the time it took to save out the last file, yes, I'm pre-recording them during the weekend, I'm not sure that I remember what it was I wanted to do. I thought it had something to do with my bow, crappy bow, but now I'm not sure. Dang it! Dang it, dang it! I forgot! I mean, I just mined a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe I should go hunting in the nether. Just to waste time and do something that's not too difficult. What am I even doing? Too difficult to follow along with. I have 24 levels, huh? I kind of want to bring this along. I probably in the nether won't need these. Or the... Oh, I've run out of room. I could make torches. I'll bring the torches as a beacon system. I'll do that much. Anything else? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to fish. Just to annoy the hell out of you guys. Okay, so, though I probably will go hunting this time around anyways. So, what was it? Monday and Tuesday I talked about education. I probably could have stretched that out 3 days, but I didn't. So screw you. Let's see, 17. Can we get higher than that? 19. Unbreaking 2. Well, at least it'll last a while. So, oh. Now that's a mod I want, and is probably not possible because it would require the rewriting of the whole game engine. But I'd like for the clouds to actually be tracked. And you have some upset things out there. You know, you have a big storm front comes through, and the rain and the lightning comes with it. The only problem is then you'd have to start tracking them across all the loaded chunks. And I could see how that would be really hard. Anyways, today I'm going to talk a little bit about climate change in reaction to the snow in Cairo, which almost amusingly has served very predictably as an excuse by those who do not want to believe in climate change. As, well, if it's cold in Cairo, it can't be global warming, can it? Well, yes, actually, not only can it, but it is going to become more likely that you have weird, severe events like that during a time like this. Not the opposite. Doink, 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 doink. Yep, that was it. That's the gist of it. I don't need to say any more, right? No. So, I didn't put it very well. I feel like I've discussed this before. Let me briefly go back over them. So climate. Yeah, it's not in here, but I feel like I've talked about it before. Well, be that as it may, where'd my road go? Oh, right in front of me. It's still a pertinent topic, especially now that you've had a weird event. That seems to be, but is not in any way contradictory to climate change. Now, thermodynamics, physics, all that stuff, it completely agrees. Well, let me put it this way. I tend to picture climate as a pendulum. Swings back and forth. There are many, many cycles involved. Yes, when people say, oh, what about the sun or the orbital changes, stuff like that, that's why it's happening, not human influence. Yes, those things happen, but they happen extremely, extremely predictably. There is no surprise to any of those cycles. We know how long it takes to go around the sun. We know how many years the solar cycles take. There has never in recorded history been even more than just the slightest difference between one solar cycle and the next. Certainly not enough to explain. I mean, you're talking a percent difference here that adds up to almost nothing on Earth. Okay, these are, you could say, well, the axial tilt of the Earth itself changes. That's why you have things like the age of Aquarius and stuff. Well, that's because the pole is literally it's orbiting. That's not orbiting this way. It's rotating very, very slowly. I can't remember if it's like a 10 or 100,000 year cycle, but it does happen. And so you have to adjust. You have to move the calendar to follow it. And that's why you eventually graduate to a new age of whatever. And then the orbit itself, the orbital Earth, it's not perfectly round. And the orbit is literally rotating. So the part where you're further away from the sun is slowly moving around the sun itself. And again, I can't remember if it's a 10 or 100,000 year cycle roughly, but it's one of those, ballpark. And it's not just that, but the shape changes. It oscillates over time. So sometimes it's more round and sometimes it's more oval. And that has an influence. But again, none of these things they're all extremely mathematically predictable. We know all of the we know most of the oscillations. We know how extreme they are. We know when they happen. We know how they overlap to make, if you mark it out into a sine wave. Yes, the sine wave seems to be, kind of going up and down at what on any small scale appears to be a slightly unpredictable pattern. But on the large scale, it actually is very repetitive, and we can do all the math and figure out exactly what it is. And yet, climate is going chaotic in spite of all those things. So if you're going to say, oh, it's just the sun having cycle, or, hey, Mars is also having global warming, so what? Those are not enough to explain away the craziness that we're enduring right now that is not in keeping with any of the cycles that we know about. Now, bring it away from the solar system and the orbital things and stuff like that. The conditions on Earth are the most influential on climate. And those are what the atmosphere consists of, how easily water is moving through the oceans, because it brings, water is moderating a thing. Right now, for example, the UK, and Northern Europe are much warmer than they're supposed to be because the transatlantic current is pointed straight at them. Oh, it's pointed straight at them and is bringing warm water to them, and with it, warm air. If that current shuts down for any reason, they are going to become nearly Arctic in climate, and probably in a hurry too. So, ocean currents are probably the strongest, most immediate influence, and they don't change, on a dime, but they can change in a humanly measurable scale. And they already, as far as I know, have been observed to be changing. In fact, this is the premise behind that movie, Day After Tomorrow. The only thing is, in that, they compress what's probably 1,000 years worth of change into a few days. Not through the currents, but, the current started it, but they say, well, it creates these... Ooh, I should have been prepared for this. They just say, oh, well, these giant vortexes form that practically go up to space, so space cold temperatures are almost reaching the surface, and that's an explanation as to how you can fit 1,000, I don't even know how many years of otherwise dramatic change into just the space of a few days for the sake of a movie narrative where people would get bored waiting around the few generations it would take to go into climate disaster as a result instead of a few days. But the whole aspect of currents being influential was actually dead on. Oops. Now, back to the pendulum thing. Come on. Eat. Oh, I come from that way, right? I was supposed to be leaving a trail for myself. Okay, this... Is that right? I think that's right. Crap. I can't remember if it's that way or this way. I feel like it's this way. So let me just try this out. My bad. So, yes, the climate is a overlap. Oh, there it is. Okay, a greatly overlapping sequence of pendulum swings, weaving back and forth as the general laws of conservation of mass and energy and thermodynamics stuff dictate, pretty much without flaw. We have not seen exceptions to this tendency. Let me go this way instead. So, how do I continue to put this? When there is lab verifiable proof that when you increase the presence of a greenhouse gas, and there are several, including water vapor. So no, a greenhouse gas is not poison. It is simply an influence, and if you over-influence, things can go badly. That's how you should be looking at it. Regardless, ow, hey, look at that. It's not even lit up. I didn't bring one. No, I didn't. Okay. Well, I can't lose it that way either. Yammer, yammer, yammer. If you picture this pendulum, and to the left is cold, and to the right is warm, and the thing is swinging happily away, it will swing at a frequency and in a pattern that is largely predictable given outside influences. The aforementioned. Man, maybe I should have just screw it. I'm going to find a way up. I'm sorry for wasting your time, but I am talking, so it's not a complete waste. And the verifiable evidence that if you add carbon dioxide or methane or this new thing that's like 1,000 times worse that is a electrical workstation, I can't remember what byproduct, 1,000 or 10,000 times worse than carbon dioxide, but they're all greenhouse gases, and to a certain extent you need them to survive. Otherwise the Earth would actually not warm enough to sustain life as we know it, at the very least, without greenhouse gases. But when you have too many, or not so much too many as if you change them too fast so that life does not have an opportunity to catch up, then you have a serious problem, which is exactly what we have right now. And things are getting, kind of gloomy and doomy. We still have some potential for surviving and or fixing it up, but we actually have to act on it yesterday to begin, and we haven't. Well, we have a little bit, but not enough. Anyways, if you trap energy in the system, the total system's energy has increased, and that's what's happening right now. We're absorbing absolutely breathtaking amounts of energy from the sun every day, and a certain fraction of that is being trapped, and more than we have in a very, very long period of time, and certainly more than any current form of life is accustomed to here on Earth. Some will survive, some will not. And we are not necessarily safely in either category yet. We have the ingenuity to perhaps survive in small numbers, but anyways, sorry, I don't want to go off on that tangent. I have a further road to build. I do have another lost portal out there somewhere that I have to find again. It goes down to a coastline near an inland sea that I want to explore. Shut up! Thank you for coming nearby. I need to get up there. Is there anything worth? No? Okay. Yeah, see, I want to get up there. I haven't really made this easy on myself, have I? Oh, I have some tools. Okay. Let me use these. I think I can get over there. So, gee, thanks. Again, back to the pendulum. Man, I don't know if that is enough. It's probably enough from here. Ooh. I gotta be careful. This guy's can absolutely... Come on. Oh, man. That was dangerous. No! Oh, God. I've been saying that a lot lately. I don't know why that's the new unconscious favorite. I didn't... Oh, there you are. Oh, there's two. I didn't hit him? I suck. I hit the one that's further away. That's amazing. Gotcha. Alright. Meanwhile, I've lost my way up. Dang it! Oh, you know what? I didn't see this one over here. But I don't have tools. I kind of screwed myself on this one. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Ah! I don't think it'll help there, but I think it will help here. Okay, one more try. Oh. Please don't anything spawn behind me while I'm doing this. So, if left is cold, right is hot on the pendulum swing, and you add energy to that system, you're effectively shoving the whole pendulum to the right. It is getting warmer on average, okay? But that some of that energy is transferred into the swing itself, okay? Woo. And as a result, it swings less predictably, more wildly, and more widely. It will swing further to the cold left as well as further to the cold right. And that is exactly what we're seeing around the world right now. Man, these things are kind of weak. What? No! Ugh. Naturally, nothing of what I'm actually looking for. I appreciate the sword. Okay, let me get out before these guys spawn on me. I'm not really interested in fighting those right now. And when I said as much on a forum post, my brother chimed in and he said, you know, it's really not a surprise because, you know, he and I, of course, have similar backgrounds, see things similar ways, similarly, mostly educated ways. And he's like, yeah, I mean, that extra energy is adding extra convection. And the more it convects, you know, convection being, you know, bubbling up and tamping down, cold, hot, cold. The differential between them is what tends to cause storm fronts and cyclones and stuff like that. And with the more energy they have, the longer they can carry these differentials with them. And so storms will last longer and be stronger, and they can travel further, and this is more or less what I'm looking for too. Oh yeah. I should take the darn thing with me. So this whole business with Cairo is you know, it's unpredictable to an extent. You don't know exactly when and where this stuff is going to strike. But the fact is, we have known it would since basically everybody was calling Al Gore a fearmonger and gloom and doomer. Well, actually, since then, in the many years since that you know, Inconvenient Truth and stuff like that, these things have happened. And not only have they happened, they've happened sooner and worse than the worst of the predictions that people claimed were complete fearmongering on his part. We really have to take this seriously. We have to all get together, understand that we don't even care about blame right now, we care about solutions. Yes, we are all technically responsible. Those of you who are trying to block progress probably should feel some level of shame about it right now, but for the most part, all we want is a solution. We want to figure out how to live more efficiently, How to live, you know. It's probably one of the... We can get more energy. Let me put it this way. We can get more energy by building more renewable energy like solar and wind, and these are really the only ways we can go in the near term that are actually not only sustainable but inexhaustible. All the other sources, nuclear, any fossil fuel, these things are exhaustible. They have a finite amount we can use, and then they will be gone forever and ever and ever, and you will never be able to use them again, period. Sunlight, however, and sunlight's derivative, wind, because, you know, that convection I was mentioning a little while ago, those things will be around on Earth for as long as there is the sun and as long as there's an atmosphere. And those will be far longer, both of them will be far longer than life itself can probably exist on Earth before it gets cold and inhospitable. In that brief time before then it gets too hot and inhospitable, you know, 1 billion years from now. There is only a certain amount you can get. There's a maximum production level, but it will never be exhausted. So you can count on it, basically. But at the same time, while that amount that you can get is actually more than we currently consume by a large margin, you know, we just have the challenge is to ramp up production, and in a clean, environmentally friendly, not destructive way. But once you get there, if you're not smart, you can still exponentiate your consumption of energy to the point where you've exhausted your renewable supply. So that is an issue. But the fact of the matter also remains, we can do things more efficiently than we do now. Very, very much so. Yes, I know I've been through here before, but I mean, if you look at like this laptop I'm on, it's working pretty hard right now ooh, look at that. That's nice. This makes me want to build here. Look at that. That's nice. I think I will. I think at some point I will make a project out of this spot, presuming I can remember how to get here. But whoa, hello, new spot. All that said, this laptop is immensely more efficient than old computers. I've read somewhere, for example, that given modern battery power in these computers, if I was to put this battery into a computer from 10 or 20 years ago, it would run through the battery in a matter of seconds. So the actual computational efficiency of this machine is hugely better than anything we've had in the past. Oh, God. And we'll have to improve on that more in the future. But we can also waste less energy by consuming less. For example, right now we have an economy based entirely on producing cheap goods, as much cheap goods as we possibly can, so that people can have jobs making cheap, replaceable, planned obsolescence kind of goods. And we have to get over that, because that is a huge energy sink that is absolutely unnecessary, and in fact is actually hurting consumers immensely, not just through climate, but... Oh, geez, you can hurt me. I didn't know that was possible. Oh. No. So, if we can just get the 1% people to lay off a little bit, maybe take asylum and go away and just be quiet and leave us to our healthier devices. Oh, look, another one beyond. I think I'm going to explore that one for next episode. Oh, close. If not for that overhang. So yeah, we need to get reaccustomed to having a small amount of very high quality, long lasting items, and not having to work every second of our lives to fuel a desire for cheap disposable goods that aren't any good, just because you need to do that in order to have a job. We have to get over that particular misinformation in our heads to be as a huge component towards being more energy efficient. But it's possible. We can do it, and there's a reason to be optimistic, but there's that important step first. Alright, I think I beat that one to death. So, how about we call it quits for now? And I'll head over that way and explore that one on camera for the next episode. I can't remember. You probably saw a few minutes ago what it was I planned on talking about. But I'll have to remind myself because I've been on this crusade for long enough to have forgotten. I want markers, so let me put a marker here. And here. Where was that scene I saw? I don't feel like it's here. No. It was on this particular stretch, though. I know that. Was it up here? I know he's behind me. What's this? For the most part, these goods aren't that great. I do appreciate the diamonds, though. Hey, there's stuff here I can put in the freebies box for the new guys. Okay, well, good enough. Please come back tomorrow, and hope you enjoyed it, or at least will forgive me for my phone. Good night.